Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Welcome to another episode of the Meme Stream. My name is Shark300. I'm the host of the Nightmare, and I'm happy to have you. Oh, we got a stream in our hands today. Like some people have seen the picture I took of my like 10-gallon fish tank that I just put together. I really enjoy that tank, but I think I'm going to change one big thing. Unfortunately, I don't think that the betta fish that I have in there, his name is White. I don't think that he's going to work in the tank, unfortunately. I wish he could, but I don't think he can. I see him. He's hugely fat. He's actually massive. And it comes to the point where I just don't think that he can fit. I just don't think that he can fit in the tank. He spends too much time trying to eat like everybody else's food. I have to put him in I have to segregate him to stop him from eating everybody else's food. He literally spends time like digging in the dirt trying to get too much food, and it's led to him being so fat that like his belly, he's given himself like a beer gut because of it. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to segregate his ass. I'm gonna put him back in the cup that I got him from originally, and then I'm going to set up a new aquarium for him to be in, because the one that he's in now just will not work. It just won't work. It can't work. He just can't fit in there, unfortunately. His attitude is just too much. It's just too much. I wish it wasn't, but you know, it is what it is. It's just too much. He's too much of a fat boy, and he can't handle being in the tank where other people have to eat. So I have to do some work to figure out what else will be in the tank, because I do want one big shellfish. You know, I want one big shellfish, like a nice big fish, well, a relatively large fish, one that'll work with the tank and look cool, like, you know, something that'll stand out. You know, the Ember Tetra, they're like little guys, but they don't really stand out that much. You know, the my boys, the Corys, they're just like vibing at the bottom. They're not really like that. Just one big fish that'll one relatively big fish that'll go crazy. That'll go absolutely crazy. I wish that would be the case. I don't know if it'll be the case. So I guess that's just how it is, right? I guess that's just how it is. He can be in the same tank with the Ember Tetra, but he can't be in the same tank with like little guys on the bottom of the tank. He just spends too much time just foraging for food and eating. And I don't know, my Corys, they just aren't really that hungry, unfortunately. They don't spend time looking for food like that. But like, you know, the betta does. He absolutely does. He does too much. So yeah, that's what we're working with right now. It's a bit of a problemo, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but he's just like a weirdo. So I'm gonna put him back tonight. After stream, I'm gonna put him back in his bucket. I'm gonna put it back in his cup, and I'm gonna make a new tank. I'm gonna make a new tank where he can he's gonna be by himself. I think. I'm just gonna segregate him. It's just gonna be him and Shrimp. I think not him and Shrimp. It's just gonna be him and some snails. Honestly, he's going to have to be segregated. Unfortunately, the segregation will begin soon. So yeah, that's just how it is. And now I have to find a new fish. I don't know what it'll be. I really don't know what it'll be. It could be anything, honestly. It could be anything. Probably not an angelfish. Those guys get too dang big. Probably not. I don't know, maybe more tetra. Maybe more tetra would work. That's possible. They're like the little guys. If you've ever seen, if you don't know what a tetra is, if you ever go to the fish tank and you see like the, you know, fish, you know, just like, damn, that's a fish. And they're kind of small, just small, just straight up fish, you know, those are usually tetra. They're just little guys. They're vibing. I don't know. But yeah. I hope you all are doing well. Hope you're chilling. We got some stuff to talk about today. I want to talk about the conservative war on MLK. At first, yes, they indeed declared war on Taylor Swift, but now they've decided to turn their sights on someone else. They've turned their sights on actual, unironic, literal Martin Luther King. They believe he is a demon who must be stopped, and they will do anything to bring us back to the civil rights era days of America. It's very weird stuff going on with those people. Yeah, complete mask off, wildly mask off, wild stuff. So yeah, we have that. I want to talk a little bit about Uvalde. I want to tell DeSantis literally just ended his oh jeez, it's so loud. There we go. DeSantis literally just ended his campaign, which is really funny. Honestly, it's exceedingly hilarious. He posted a quote by Winston Churchill to let people know that he's done. That wallahi, he's finished. That he is finished. And he cannot come back from it. I don't, maybe like a discus? Is this maybe like a discus fish or something? You know what I mean? I'm not sure how big discus get. Are they called discus? Yeah, discus. How big did discus get? 75 gallons? Oh my gosh, they're huge. These guys are massive. Giganto fish. Okay, anyways. I could probably get one. They said 1 per 10 gallons, so I could probably get one. I could definitely get one, probably. This is Vivek and DeSantis out. Yeah, who could have ever seen this coming? Who could have known that Ron Pantpiss himself wouldn't be able to be strong enough to become the nominee for the Republican Party in 2024? Who could have seen this coming? Not I. Honestly, not I. I'm flabbergasted. I totally thought he would have absolutely obliterated that Donald Trump guy. I thought he would have cooked that Donnie Trumpy guy. I'm finished. I'm finished. But yeah, being a fish caretaker is actually harder than I expected originally. Not necessarily because taking care of the fish is hard, but what's hard is like putting the fish together in a tank that works. That's the part that gets difficult, I'll say. That's the part that can really throw you for a bit of a loop. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still working on it. Yeah, you got to work on like a good fish team, like, yeah, good fish team chemistry. They need chemistry, you know? And if you don't have good chemistry, you're kind of cooked. You're kind of cooked. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I really don't. If anybody has any ideas, let me know. I don't know, maybe an angelfish? How big do angelfish get? Do they get like really big? I know some can get kind of big. I don't know, maybe like a couple angelfish would work. Well, not a couple, just like one. Just one nice, pretty angelfish could work. That's definitely possible. Who knows though? Who knows though? But what's been going on with you all? Have you all been vibing, chilling, enjoying your lives? Give rid of this, give rid of this, give rid of this. Do I got anything in there I need to show you all real quick? You watched Departed last night during stream? That's kind of badass, I can't lie. It's kind of badass. Hey, let's see. Yo, did you see that Vivek before he dropped out racism to himself? I'm not even joking. Like, bro, like racism to himself. Look at this. Look at this. I was craving 7-Eleven.
See, this is a dream. When you make money, you get to afford to buy some high-end type of food, and nothing says more high-end than hot dogs at 7-Eleven. And if you've had this, you know how great this is.
How you feeling, Eric?
10 feet tall and bulletproof. Oh, that mustard.
Look at this, look at this, look at this. Ah!
All right. I don't really know much about this guy. He's like this guy, this Patrick Bet David. This guy, he's like he owns part of the Yankees. All right, so he's rich. Okay? But then he like tells poor people about how they can make money moves. And how they can be rich too, even though he's telling them it's the same type of like get rich type guy that like poor people flock to, because he tells them ways in which they can make money, do things that he didn't do to make money at all. But anyways, he was like, I wanted some 7-Eleven, and then Vivek was like, thank you for coming, don't forget to grab a Slurpee. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene, actual Marjorie. I'm never deleting this app. She says, Chai right chick, I'm deceased. Bro, I'm dead. Media's gonna go insane over this one. There's Malcolm Flex as well. Madman actually did it. This is why your following loves you. That is true. That is true. He makes fun of himself for them. And listen, he does the Indian jokes so they don't have to. Of course. It's so good. You're making macarons today? Oh, god damn. That does sound pretty good. I can't lie. Macaron. Okay, well, thank you. That was some weird stuff. And the crazy thing about this is that right after he posted this, he dropped out of the race. Like, he posted that and then was like, all right, guys. Apparently dropping this many Indian jokes isn't enough to put me over the finish line. He might be, wait, here, let's see. Yeah, here's the thing, like it was quite interesting. I'm not going to lie. Like Nikki Haley, Indian, Vivek, like two of the biggest people in like the Republican primary were like Indian of Indian descent, right? And both of them didn't like cook that hard either in the entire thing. Like both of them could not overcome at the end of the day GOP racism. They just they couldn't escape it. They tried their best. They were like, oh, look guys, you guys totally aren't racist. You guys will definitely vote for me, I bet. Come on, please, I'm begging you, vote for me. Oh, come on. Wait, what happened? Oh yeah, wait a second. It's because it is because I think Babylon B said that Babylon B wrote like Babylon B wrote Vivek Ramaswamy drops out of the race and starts working at White House 7-Eleven, and then he was like, haha, it's so true. That's so me, dude. We, you know, us Indians, we do love working at we do love owning 7-Eleven. He couldn't do it. He thought he could hang. He forgot that they weren't laughing with him. They were indeed laughing at him the whole time. They were actually clowning on him the entire time. Pathetic and cringe. Now that's true. Yeah. I have no idea what just happened with the Vivek thing. They were like posting "fuck you, Indian Lamau," and he was like, haha, so true. And then he dropped out of the race. And then he just dropped out of the race. That's just how it was. I think that there was something. Like, he said that he was surprised that some Republicans said they didn't want to vote for him because of his name. I thought I heard something along those lines, but I did not actually look into it. So I'm not sure how true it really is. Not sure how it really is. Okay. I can't find anything on it at the moment. I have to look at it. I have to look for that later. What's up, Shark? What's good? Ron dropped out today? Yeah, but that's like one of the least surprising things that has happened today. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real with you. Yo, did you see this actual child pretending to be a lady? Pretending to be a woman? Did you see this? Look at this. This shit's crazy. Look at this. My husband went out on a business trip and I urgently need to take security measures while I'm at home alone. 1, lock the front door. I have a fingerprint lock. Fingerprint lock. All right. And then she puts a door lock on the fingerprint lock. Okay. Just so you know, they have a deadbolt and a fingerprint lock on the door. So that's 2 locks already. So this is now the 3rd lock. And now she puts a 4th security measure on the front door. This is now basically 4 locks on the door. And she does it to like I'm gonna mute this. And she does it to like every single door and window. Meanwhile, there's glass everywhere, but she's closing them. And then she installs like a little baby monitor so her husband can just like observe her while he's out of the house. To ensure the blinds are closed in all rooms to maintain privacy and prevent anyone from seeing inside the house. And now she puts like these blinds up that are specifically like completely blackout so you can't see through them at all. And then she gets under her blankie and keeps her personal whistle a flashlight, a panic button, and another alarm on her. No natural light, nopers, but she does have this cool blue light. And also, somebody's recording this. Somebody's like, the camera's moving, like somebody's recording her while she's doing this. And I don't know who it is. It's probably just her husband, honestly. I will keep all of this under my pillow. My sleep is very sensitive. I hope my husband will come back soon and I can relax a bit. I hope my husband can come back soon. How did this woman live before she met her husband? Or did she not? Did she simply not exist? She like poofed into existence once her husband decided to marry her. Quantum wife does not exist until he decided to marry her, and then she poofed into the world as a helpless child. She was born married. That might be the case. That's true. They know their niche demographic. This is like one of the most niche. This is the nichest of niche demographics I've ever seen in my entire life. Helpless woman scared to death to be in her house alone as her husband goes on a business trip. She should run 50,000 volts through every metal surface in the home for safety purposes. Now that's true. That's so true. They should just like install a fence and then just run 50,000 volts of electricity through like all the posts. Bzzz. I don't know, maybe she can get inside of one of those you know when those guys are like doing some stuff with like a Tesla coil? Maybe she should install a big Tesla coil inside of the house, and then when her husband's gone, she gets inside of like the Fermi box or whatever it's called, and then she sleeps in there as like 150 billion bolts of lightning are like flying across the neighborhood until her husband comes out, and that stops any would-be intruders from the Faraday cage. Very true. She needs to sleep inside the Faraday cage, and then everything will come together. And then it's all coming together. I don't think she's safe enough yet, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Yo, people. Oh man. Anyways, okay. Did you see that DeSantis decided to drop out of the race? He's done. People saw earlier that he canceled every single one of his conferences and potential like meet and greets or whatever. Every single event that he had on his website, they closed it down, right? And you heard earlier, a little while ago, we were doing a segment on how DeSantis's campaign is kind of imploding, how like his super PAC and his like campaign president were almost in a fist fight because they were like, Nikki Haley is better than us, she's like the real number two, we're like getting cooked everywhere, nobody likes us, they keep saying that he smiles like a serial killer, what's going to happen, our poll numbers aren't growing, they're actually falling, they keep falling. And then at the end of his campaign, it was really weird. It was just like a campaign of grievances against Donald Trump and how he didn't suck Donald Trump's cock hard enough, and that's why a lot of Republicans don't like him.
He cares about. You can be the most worthless Republican in America, but if you kiss the ring, he'll say you're wonderful. You can be the strongest, most dynamic, successful Republican and conservative in America, but if you don't kiss that ring, then he'll try to trash you. You know what? You deserve a nominee that's going to put you first, not himself first.
You know, you could be the strongest, most bestest, most epic, you could completely destroy the culture war. You could be the guy who's done more against the culture war and the wokes and the globalists and the deep state and the transes and the blacks and the immigrants than anybody has ever done. You could be the guy who's made sure as many children as possible are forced to die, being forced to give birth as possible. That's what we love, okay? You could be that Republican. You could be strong, and you could wear like really cool boots, super cool boots that people keep trying to say are heels. They're not heels. Okay, they're not heels. They're great boots. They're because I'm a down home. Because if you were this guy, you'd be a down home country boy that is doing everything possible to make the world a better place. But if you don't like Donald Trump once, then he thinks that you're like bad. Okay, you don't deserve that guy. Okay, bro, just say that you don't like Donald Trump. Okay, just say that you think that you're the coolest, most bestest, most epicest Republican and you deserve to be the president. But Donald Trump won't let you because everybody likes him instead of you. Just say it. Just say it, okay? You don't have to do this sort of... He's so petty. He's so passive aggressive. He's so passive aggressive. It's crazy. It's wild. He's so sassy. He's such a sassy baby. Nah, they're already making memes of him. They're already making memes of this guy, dude. This is gonna be DeSantis on doing calls for Donald Trump now that he dropped out. Oh no. You know the funniest thing about this image is that the person under this is actually Ted Cruz. Like this was actually is a picture of Ted Cruz looking really upset that he had to do phone banking for Trump and Pence after Donald Trump called his wife ugly and said that his dad was the Zodiac killer. After he said that this Donald Trump guy would destroy the Republican Party, he was right, and he still phone banked for him to get him in office. He got him in office. It didn't work out that much. Oh no, people are posting the incredible meme of this guy's downfall. It's truly remarkable. Dismiss Ron DeSantis at your own peril. Dude, we used to be scared of this guy. I don't know, we used to be scared of this guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I still think that Piss can become president at some point, maybe like 2028 or something. He could, if there's no if there's no big if there's no big Democratic name that's out there like making moves, then I think that he could. Between like him and Newsom, I think Newsom could probably win. I think Newsom might be able to cook him. It's possible. I don't think DeSantis did that well in his debate against Newsom, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But he might be able to do good enough. And Newsom might be just cringe enough and hate, like, I don't know, he might just be cringe enough to be able to lose against Piss. It just all depends. It just all depends, right? What if it's Trump again in 2028? I'm gonna be so real with you. I don't really know if Trump or Biden have another 4 years left in them. Like if you see like how much that this Donald Trump guy has completely deteriorated, I don't know. In just the 4 years that he's been out of office already, I honestly don't know if he's got another 4 years left in him. I don't know. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm just saying that I don't know if he does. I do not know if he does. They got 2 years maximum. Ron DeSantis is Donald Trump with brains and without the drama. I wouldn't say he's with brains, no. And he's definitely not really without the drama. But I think he's smarter than Trump, yeah. He just has the type of personality that seems like roses in like a vase wilt when he walks by. That's the big problem. DeSantis is Trump if he were beige and oatmeal flavored. Yeah, beige Trump. Oh no, dude. Is this a whole there's a whole thread of like conservatives hyping up Piss? Why DeSantis brain trust thinks it can actually beat Trump. Yeah, they were wrong. DeSantis is the real winner of this election. Wrong. Very wrong. Nigel Farage? Okay. Get back to your own failing country. Bro, aren't like 40% of British youth in poverty? Bro, deal with your own country, man. Get back to your shitty island. What are you doing? What are you doing here? Who do you think you are? British? Who do you think? Go back to your own country. Yeah, dying empire can't help it. Is he already trying to jump ship? He must be. He must be. Young GOP star DeSantis romps to victory in Florida. He romps to victory. The Future plus Kathy Hochul claims victory. Times Magazine. What DeSantis means for America, nothing it seems so far. Is DeSantis the future of the Republican Party? Seemed like the answer is very much no. How Ron DeSantis won the pandemic. He did not do this. He did not. Oh, dude. I'm telling you, like, mainstream media was so scared of this guy. Well, I said that he definitely has the I think he has the potential to win sometime, but I said specifically that I don't believe in like his year is 2024, maybe 2028, maybe 32, but 28 no. Sorry, but 24 nah, bro's getting cooked. Completely cooketh. It's not happening. The British can never mind their own business. It's crazy. It's wild stuff. They can't handle it. Anyways, after a pretty poor performance in Iowa, the crazy thing, it's actually been only one singular primary. There's only been Iowa. And after that, he drops out. Oh yeah, and the funniest thing about this is that after he's like, "Oh, everybody needs to like kiss the ring of Donald Trump." After that, he decided to kiss the ring of Donald Trump because he drops out and says he's endorsing Donald Trump, just like that.
Greetings from Florida.
Yikes. Honestly, probably one of the scariest things I've heard in my entire life. Greetings from Florida. Okay, buddy.
The warmth of being home is a reminder why I've chosen public service. From joining the United States Navy and serving in Iraq to representing the people in the U.S. Congress and now serving as governor of Florida.
Oh, you mean like the people you tortured in Guantanamo Bay? Crazy stuff.
Choose to stop it. We can choose reckless borrowing and spending, or we can choose to limit government and lower inflation. And defeating the people who are responsible for our nation's decline. That is the type of leadership we need for all of America. Now, over the past many months, Casey and I have traveled across the country. I would do it. But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign.
Yep,
I'm
sounds
proud
about
to have
right.
delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now.
100% of your promises? What, to lose and drop out? Did he promise that at the beginning? Dude, this guy's campaign has been so cursed ever since the beginning. Let me remind you, because some people forgot, this guy launched his campaign on twitter.com and he's ending his campaign on twitter.com. Don't you think that's insane? Launched and ended on Twitter. This is the America's first campaign to begin and end. The first campaign in American history to begin and end on Twitter.com. I'm just shocked that he didn't get Elon Musk back to be able to host another space, another failing like garbage space where you can barely hear what he was saying to end the campaign. Can you imagine like his I quit video is actually more easily listened to than his I'm running for president video. May it be the last. Maybe if this is how they all go, I want every Republican to launch their campaign on Twitter. This would be crazy. This would be so good. The Twitter call was so crazy. The reverb, you not being able to hear anything. The fact that Elon was like, oh no, I think there's too many people in here. Them trying to fix it live on air. Ending it, putting it back on. Him just talking about how the transes and the blacks and the wokes and the immigrants must be defeated. It's just sad. It's really sad. He deserved it though. Guy's out of his mind. Didn't Elon end up ditching this guy for Vivek? that is that is kind of true, that he did end up throwing this guy away for Vivek, because he was like, this DeSantis guy is really cooking for a while, and then he switched from that to Vivek, and he's like, Vivek's just like me for real. We need more billionaires in office. And then Vivek got like a completely obliterated. DeSantis actually did better without Elon than Vivek did. Maybe Elon is like Hillary Clinton. So when Hillary like hops onto campaigns, it sinks Democrats' chances. Maybe when DeSantis maybe when Elon hops onto campaigns, that it sinks as well. Like the sheer weight of his own ego and stupidity just sinks your campaign. The kiss of death. It seems so. It seems so. Very, very sad stuff. Very sad stuff. Wait. I want to see something. Did he actually say that? Did Donald Trump really go on Truth Social? Did he go on the Truth Social and actually say tiny Ron DeSantis is actually 5'7"? Ooh, I don't know how true this is, but that shit would be so hilarious. You don't even understand how hilarious this would be. Tiny Ron DeSantis is 5'7". Now this is a truth. I've never seen a truth so true in my entire life. I'd retruth this immediately. You can't come back from that. You really can't. This was in May 2023. He actually didn't recover from it. That's the wildest thing about it. I love the quotes as if it was already his nickname. Tiny Ron. I mean, it is true. He is Tiny Ron. Many people call this. Many people claim that he is Tiny Ron. He's 5'7" inches long. Smurf ass. 3 apples high. Complete Smurf ass. Wait, who's this guy? Rob Weber? Wait, is this Rob Weber guy cooking Matt Gaetz? Wait.
What's the youngest schoolgirl you've ever been with? And have you...
Yeah. Well, yo, my man was ready. That shit's crazy. Oh, can we talk about how Florida's kind of pedo central though? Like, what's going on with Florida? What's happening, dude? Like, Trump and Epstein, crazy. Okay, Fucky Matt Gaetz and Greenwald and crew, crazy. The fact that he was right there with like giga PDFs, he was like besties with like super double, triple, quadruple, omega PDFs. Like, what's happening? What's happening? He was the quick job. Yeah, quickest shot this side of the Mississippi. That's the Arizona. He really is the Arizona Ranger. Someone needs to break the pedo spawner. At least put some torches on it or something, man.
You're ridden on the Lolita Express. I know that Donald Trump has. So
Cook him. Cook him. Yo, fuck that guy. Oh, what do you mean don't let it? Whatever happened to free speech? Whatever happened to free? I didn't know we lived in communist China. What do you mean get him out? What's happening? Soy, don't let him talk. Don't let him speak. This is literally 1984. That's crazy. This needs to stop. They're seething so hard. Matt Gaetz, answer the question.
girl you've been with. Have you ridden the Lolita Express? What's the youngest girl you've been with? And have you ridden the Lolita Express?
I think it says a lot about Matt Gaetz by the fact that he didn't want to answer that question. I'm just saying it tells us a lot about society, the fact that he didn't want to answer that question. They wanted to hear his answer without the camera. Oh, you're right. They kicked him out because they wanted to hear his answer, but they didn't want any cameras in there. Okay. He was about to answer. He actually did answer. They just didn't have any cameras in there. Okay. Now we're cooking. Now it's all starting to make a little bit more sense. Now it's all making a little bit more sense.
This meme is very real.
I'm just asking questions. He is really just asking questions. What, is it illegal to ask questions now? It was illegal to be an American and ask questions? What the hell? Rob Weber, you're cooking. You know what's up. He made a little song too. That he came prepared. That's my man's right there. He knows what's up. My goodness. Oh my goodness. Sorry, one moment. All right. Didn't Gaetz have the FBI on him for a while? Yeah, that's true. They said that they weren't going to be arresting him though. He was indeed under investigation by the FBI in connection. Wait a second. Oh, this is what this is what they're posting about that DeSantis guy. Oh no, DeSantis, don't do it. There's so much more to. Well, I mean, there's not, but like, don't do it. I don't want to get banned on Twitch. Oh, now watch this. Now watch this. You'll be surprised. No, don't ban me. Now watch this drive. Yo, did you see that Biden's getting cooked when it comes to voters? Now, I knew that he was getting cooked, but I didn't actually know how bad the cooking is. And my question is, what is going to what is this man going to do if he's to win like the presidency? You feel me? Like what how is he going to make it back from this? He keeps doing and saying stupid shit. Come on, Jack. That is true. Come on, Jack. Yeah, he's a bad cook. Wait, let me show you how bad it actually is, because I read this article earlier today. This is from the first, so this is like a little under a month away. A little under a month in the past, but he burned the chicken. Biden heads into the election showing alarming weakness in stalwarts of the Democratic base, with Trump leading among his, listen to this, with Donald Trump leading among Hispanic voters, the Mexicans, and young voters, the youngins. This was the craziest line I've heard in my entire life, that through this young voters actually preferred Donald Trump over Joe. Like that's kind of wild to me, don't you think?
Woo!
Special Tots, thanks for the raid.
That's what I've been waiting for.
I appreciate you. Thanks for coming around. Nice to see you. Bro, Trump will be more left wing, bro. Trust me, bro. He will free Palestine, bro. It's not about that. The reason why it's the case is because more people have just said that they don't want to vote for Biden. All right. It's more. It's now the thing is, it's just people saying that they don't want to go forward voting for Biden. So a lot of the people who were voting for Biden originally or wanted to vote for Biden are now people who are voting for, who say that they appreciate third-party candidates more, are looking for third-party candidates more rather than voting for Trump or Biden. And then those people, okay, who are more like pro-Donald Trump are just, you know, they're staying pro-Donald Trump, but Biden's losing voters and supporters and more than he did previously. That doesn't sound true. I mean, it does. It doesn't sound true. I think this study was conducted over cell phone and landline, so it's together. But even if you have like a large portion, of young voters, no matter what, the young voters should still usually be pro Biden and more left wing. What's actually happening is that it's not that they're switching from Biden to Trump. It's that they're switching. Like the Trump voters are like, I love Trump, and the Biden voters are like, I want to vote for a third party. That's what's more going on than people like switching from Biden to Trump, because that's not really happening. I hope Biden doesn't run again and we get a better Dem. I'm gonna tell you this right now, it's like too late. The time for that was like 3 years ago. It's too late. We are now we are now like nine months away, or 10, we're 11 months away. No, my bad, 10 months away from the election being held. It's far too late for you to like get another candidate. It's just way too, it's not possible. I'm still hopeful about Biden's chances. A lot of these defectors will turn around and vote for Biden come election day. I mean, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. The problem is just a lot of people will just, I think a lot of people are just going to stay home. I think there's going to be less voters this time than last time. Just if I was to bet right now, just 10 months out, I would say that there's going to be less voters, less people who vote just in general this time than there was last time. Mostly just because of how few people actually want a rematch between Biden and Trump, but that's just what we're getting. It seems the entire Dem party is sleepy, to be honest. Yeah, because enthusiasm, actually they talked about this. It's called the thermometer. They do a specific poll on this. It's called, we talked about this the other day, but we can talk about this again a little bit. And we talked about this in 2020 as well. If you were around back then, like I talked about this. People didn't vote for Biden because they liked Biden. People voted for Biden because they disliked Trump, okay? And Biden, he was like, I want to, you know, come back to the status quo. And the status quo is just like, you know, not too much changes and no like radical change really happens. And more likely than not a lot of great things happen. Not a lot of bad things happen necessarily by his own doing, but not a lot of great things happen either. He's just kind of vibing in the Oval Office, right? And that's just kind of what they were looking for. But like, after that, after people remember what like the normalcy stagnation of the like the government looks like, people are like, man, I really wish they were like they like mix this shit up a little bit more. And then Donald Trump's like, hey, remember me? I mixed shit up like a little while ago. I mean, Trump has a better approval rating than Biden has right now, right? It is because he's been out of office, and I think that's going to drop, right? But like the amount, here's a big thing, okay, that you need to understand. It's wild to me. I haven't seen something this bad before in just my time looking at polling, but especially presidential polling. Like, yes, Donald Trump leads Joe Biden right now in this poll, but it's 39-37. Bro, nobody's even in the 40s. Not even 40% of voters even want either of these candidates right now by this poll, right? It's 39-37-17. 39-37, and then like something else other is 17. That's crazy. That shit's insane, dude. Nobody likes these guys. People hate Trump and people don't like Biden, but there's a large group of people who love Trump, and there's no large group of people that love Biden. There's a large group of people that love Trump, and there's a large group of people that hate Trump. There's no large group of people that love Biden. Nobody loves Biden. Nobody loves Biden. Nobody does. And honestly, when RFK Jr. is thrown into the mix, it goes down to 37-34. Trump is the 37, Biden's the 34. And then RFK picks up 10%. It's actually ridiculous. Bro, nobody likes these people. There's a large group of people that hate Biden. That's true, but they're Republicans. Those guys don't really matter. There's no real large group of like Democratic voters that really hate Biden. There's a lot of people like online that like really hate Biden, but like in the real world, there aren't that many like left-wing voters that like or like left-leaning voters that really hate Biden. Yeah, there are left-leaning people that hate Biden. More likely than not, they're not voters, for one. And two, the ones that even are, there aren't that many of them. Well, actually, before Israel started bombing Gaza, now there's a decent amount of, now there's a large group of left-leaning voters that do hate Biden. The deciding group in the past election has been people that hate Trump. That's true. That's true. But can he rely on that 2 times in a row? Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, anyways, I want to look at this, the enthusiasm thermometer, because we saw this a little while ago, how like a lot of Republicans, well, a large plurality of Republicans are really amped to vote for Donald Trump, and there's just no real large, you know, population of Democrats and like left-leaning voters that are really amped to vote for Biden. It just doesn't really exist like that, which is a problem for getting people out to vote, mind you. In the poll, 44% of Trump supporters describe themselves as a 10 on the thermometer. Mind you, you can rank yourself from 1 to 10. All right, 10 obviously is like, you know, 10. I won. I'm so excited to vote. I love voting. Sheesh, voting is so cool. I love that guy. And then one is like, can I call out sick? It's one of those things. Like if I just feel sleepy that day, I'm not gonna vote for him. Do you love voting? Yeah, it's like and then one is like, if I feel sleepy that day, I'm not leaving my house to go vote for that guy. 44% of Trump supporters voted themselves as a 10. Full enthusiasm on the enthusiasm meter. Okay, and look at this massive drop. Pause the music because this shit's crazy. The highest possible level among Biden supporters, fewer than half that number, 18% called themselves a 10. Bro, 18% of people said that they're like 10. Even the people who are like, I want Joe Biden to win. 18% said they're excited. They're really excited for Joe Biden to win. That's crazy. My bad. They're really excited to vote for him. Dumpster fire. I've seen a handful of dumbasses who are like, I was going to vote for Biden, but he sided with Israel, so I'm not voting. I wouldn't call those people dumbasses. I would say that Biden needs to do something to reach out to those people. I mean, unless you think like, I don't know, like unless you're just one of the people that think that like the majority of people who vote are just simply dumbasses and you have the real information and everybody else is simply a fool whose intellect pales in your comparison. Like that's just like most voters to you. I don't think that's really dumbass. I think it's proof that he's not caring about his base when it comes to how he's leading policy wise. Weren't you pushing voter shaming rhetoric the other day? Who? Are you talking to me? It takes a level of cold calculation to still vote for Biden, which is hard to do during a genocide. Now that's true. It's also like not how a lot of people vote, right? It's just not really how a lot of people vote. A lot of people are like, gas prices are up. Inflation was pretty up. I don't really feel like I have a lot more money than I did when he was president, so I don't like it. And that's how most people think, right? That's how most people go about like this whole voting thing. But if you're not like that, obviously, you know, you might think something different. Want me to dig it up? Sure. This is good to hear after that. After what? What are you talking about? What did I say? Because nothing I'm saying now has been contradictory to anything I've said ever. Gas prices have been down for the last 3 months though. That's true, but people remember like 3 months ago. People still remember how the gas prices were up 3 months ago. I vote for Joe Biden so I don't die. Very true. Very true. Now convince other people of that. Because there's a reason why he's not resonating with voters. It's not, I mean, there's a reason why he's not resonating with voters. The other day you sounded like somebody, the kind of person you were talking about. I mean, I might have to you. I mean, my arguments are all the same from yesterday. I agree with everything that I said yesterday. And I agree with everything I said yesterday. And I agree with everything I said, like, even before that. When I was talking about how Joe Biden might not recover from this when it comes to his, like, poor performance with his own base. And I also agree with this today. I mean, if you have an idea about literally anything that I said that you think is contradictory to what I'm saying right now, you can let me know. You'd rather not vote. Not vote or vote third party. Yeah, a lot of people are like, I'd just rather not go out. Music, I paused it. We're talking. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of interested. I don't know what I said yesterday that seems contradictory to this. Because I know for a fact I talked about people giving like some of the worst arguments I've ever heard in my entire life about why they don't want to vote for Biden. They were just bad, dumb arguments, honestly. Which are bad and dumb. Like, I mean, people can have bad and dumb arguments for not wanting to vote for Biden. My argument isn't it's good to vote for Biden. It's good. My argument is not it's good not to vote for Biden or anything along those lines. My argument is people don't want to vote for Biden, so Biden should do something about that. And if he doesn't, it's his fault. Because a lot of people are going to want to blame like literally everybody else. I mean, you know, like your average Democratic voter who you know, like your normie Democratic, like hashtag resist voter, blue wave voter who believes that like mean young voters online is the reason why we can't have anything nice and why Donald Trump will be the God King Emperor of the United States and throw their family in like Austin Birkenau concentration camp, making like hand sewing Donald Trump Make America Great Again hats until their hands bleed and then they get shot in the back of the head with like a potato gun filled with a crystallized version of the Second Amendment printed out. And it's just like, sure, okay, like like, I mean, I think you can have bad reasons to not want to vote for Biden or like articulate them very, very poorly. But like somebody not wanting to vote for Biden and like expressing that online is not the reason why Biden will lose. Just like how these types of same people blame like the left or like the Bernie bros or whatever for Hillary Clinton not winning in 2016 when it was her entire fault for never visiting the Rust Belt in the entirety of the election cycle and then losing the entirety of the Rust Belt, the states that she didn't visit during the entirety of the election cycle. The same way if Biden loses here in 2024, it's because he didn't decide to do anything that his actual voters wanted or cared about, and decided to stick to the same old that he ran on, which is like return to normalcy. I'm so normal, no mean tweets. That Donald Trump guy sure sucks, doesn't he? Vote for me to save the soul of the nation. Soy brunch, yeah. You're asking Dems to do anything meaningful. You're asking a lot from them. In many ways, yeah. Unfortunately, in many ways, yes. Unfortunately, not all the time, but yeah. There are big times when they just do not care. Yeah. Is the only bulwark against fascism we have. Oh, that's true. I saw this video. There's been a lot of stuff like running around online recently. I saw this video. I thought, well, I saw part of this video. I want to look at the rest of it while we're here.
We're white liberals. We say that we're not in a cult like MAGA, but then we'll dismiss any and all criticism of Joe Biden as Russian propaganda or voter suppression. We're white liberals. We use women's reproductive rights as a pawn, while ignoring that apparently the president can bypass Congress when it comes to funding a genocide, but not when it comes to codifying Roe v. Wade. We're white liberals. We'll bully you and say that if you vote for anyone besides Biden, that you're voting for Trump, instead of helping you organize and find a different candidate that isn't a dictator or a genocider.
Okay, so here's the thing. Couple things, all right? Couple things. On this, I would say that this was kind of true, where a lot of people would just dismiss any single criticism of Joe Biden as like propaganda or evil or wrong. Okay, so I do hate this aesthetic. I do dislike it. But some people are going to be like, oh, people don't do that. They don't do that. I actually saved like a pretty large account that does this. Yeah, he's actually a Democratic analyst in Tennessee. I saved it not too long ago. Let me see if I can pull this up for you super quick. Shoop, shoop, quick. Shoop, quick. Shoop, quick. Yeah, here we go. This guy. Yeah, this guy. Dad, husband, 16 years in elective office, Tennessee election commissioner, local Democratic chair. Okay. This is from the party chair. This is from the party chair and strategist, the local Democratic Party chair and strategist in Tennessee. Okay. And you know what he had to say? This is David Hogg, the guy who survived a school shooting, who literally just said Joe Biden should work on him not being popular amongst young voters, which he won decisively in 2020. Okay. He said, okay, this is it. Folks have got to stop bitching and about not getting 100% of everything that they want and get behind this president, full stop. Being critical of him or his campaign on social media does nothing but feed his detractors. So you aren't helping anything. You have a platform, use it wisely. So he's literally like, do not criticize Joe Biden. He's like, being critical of him or his campaign on social media does nothing but feed his detractors, so you aren't helping anything, okay? And this is literally David Hogg, who just said he should work on the problem that he has with young voters not wanting to vote for him. This is, once again, a Democratic Party chair and strategist saying it is wrong and bad and incorrect and against democracy for you to criticize Joe Biden. This isn't just like because like these type of people will pull up like some rando online who about like saying something mean about Joe Biden. Okay, this is a Democratic Party chair saying to his constituents and people who are going to be who are left leaning, all right, independent or Democratic voters, do not say anything bad about Joe Biden ever. You are not allowed to criticize the president. Period. It is wrong and should be frowned upon for you to criticize him. Period. This is a really large figure saying the stuff like this. So yeah, I mean, yeah, unfortunately, that is at least in this part of the video, yeah, that's kind of true. I will say, right? This just makes no sense. This part's low IQ. Okay. The president can bypass Congress when it comes to funding genocide, but not when it comes to like codifying Roe. This is low IQ. The president cannot codify Roe v. Wade. It does not make it. How can they do that? That's legislation. The president cannot write legislation. Now he can work on some like federal policies, sure. I mean, he can do things like on federal land, you're able to get an abortion no matter what, and you can't be prosecuted by states. He has done that. If you're a service member and you're on like federally owned land in certain states that have banned abortion, you can still get an abortion. He's done that. But like, oh, just codify Roe, Lamau. No, he can't. He actually can't. No, he can't do that. There might be a thing of executive orders. Yeah, that's what I just mentioned. Yeah, he can file an executive order, like when it comes to on federal land and property in Washington D.C. Yeah, you can like get an abortion and all this type of stuff. But when it comes to just states, he can't just tell states to just do that. No, he can't do that. No, he is commander in chief. The president is commander in chief of the armed forces. So yes, he can actually give weapons to almost whoever he wants if he really wants to. That part's true. Now, bombing places like bombing Yemen, it's actually a little like I think it's going to cause a little constitutional crisis about whether or not the president can just do that. The Supreme Court and Congress has been like slowly funneling war powers into the hands of the executive, like completely without oversight for like decades. So he might actually be, they're talking about whether or not he's actually able to do that. He might not be able to, but at the end of the day, it's still a question that needs to be completely sorted out in courts. But like, he can't just write policy. He can't do that. Obama could have done more to replace Ruth Bader Ginsburg before his presidency was over. I mean, yeah, maybe, but like, what was he gonna do? Like, kill her? Was it like threaten her family or something? Like, he did say, hey, he did have talks with RBG telling her to step her ass down, but she was like, nah, I'm good. Stop trying to make me step down. I'm a woman, you dumb bitch. I'm a woman and I deserve to be here. And anybody telling me to step down hates women. That was her whole thing. And then she fucking died. That was her whole thing. And then when he tried to get another person on the court, the Republicans were just like, we're just going to not do that. We're just going to keep this seat open for as long as it takes to get a Republican in office to fill it. And then they won. And then they did do that, actually. I'm gonna mute this. I mean, the only thing that, I don't know, Joe Biden could possibly do, maybe activate the Insurrection Act and the War Powers Act, and then put like cops, put like fucking military members outside of and put like military service members outside of every single Planned Parenthood in conservative controlled states and stop them from shutting them down and like shooting at it, and then like doming every single cop that's come to like shut the place down or something, and then running the Planned Parenthood as a sort of like military base, and then you can go there if you want to get an abortion, or I don't know, maybe possibly he could do something like that, but like outside of that, no, he can't just write policy. This is dumb. Yes, he can do one thing that the Constitution says he can do, but he can't do another thing that he couldn't. No, I hate to be the one to tell you this.
Comes to funding a genocide, but not when it comes to codifying Roe v. Wade. We're white liberals. We'll bully you and say that if you vote for anyone besides Biden, that you're voting for Trump, instead of helping you organize and find a different candidate that isn't a dictator or a genocider.
Okay, but here's my thing. Have you found another viable candidate? In the like 4 years that Biden has been in office, have you found like a good candidate that could replace him, that has the potential to do so? Have you found one yet? Have you found even one? Because the only one that really comes to mind is like possibly Cornel West, who has no electoral history whatsoever. He has no history whatsoever, no like real backing. He didn't even have a real PAC. He was part of like a third party. He wasn't even part of the Democratic Party, so he had like no money either. And like getting the entire country to vote for a third party candidate over two established candidates is just that's a Herculean feat that takes decades, not one election cycle. So no, I'll define one. Because listen, here's the thing. It's for one, it's too late to replace Biden. And two, let's go back in time and pretend that it wasn't, bro. Who do you think could possibly rise the ranks in like, who do you think could possibly rise the ranks? Even because there were a decent amount of like Democrats who did not want, who for one don't want Biden to run again, didn't want Biden to run originally that much, and only was there and only voted for him because they thought that he could beat Donald Trump, and actually wanted him to not run again. He never promised. Some people say he promised to run again. He didn't actually promise not to run again. I do not believe that's true. Now you can correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I remember, he never actually promised not to run again. But like, who? Gavin Newsom, who's just trash. Yo, Gavin Newsom is like just as lib-pilled as Biden is. I don't think Gavin Newsom would do almost anything different than what Joe Biden's doing right now. So that's out of it. Cenk is Turkish. I'll just leave it at that. Kamala Harris couldn't even win her own race. They also hate Kamala Harris anyways. I also do not like Kamala Harris. Dog, who? Because some people like Cenk brings up like, for one, my governor. Get your dirty hands off my governor, okay? For one, he's literally the only reason why like my state isn't like completely fucking cooked, okay? So get your hands off. Do not take my governor from me. Like who else, you know? Like Gretchen Whitmer, she needs to like cook up even more in like in Michigan. They're still cooking there. She's not done there yet. There's Tim Scott. He's still cooking. He's not done yet. Jeb Bush, no. No, mommy Whitmer for prez. Whitmer will go crazy. Elizabeth Warren, not running. I don't think she could win either. I'm gonna be honest with you. She could not win. Elizabeth Warren, she doesn't have what it takes to win. Kamala Harris doesn't have what it takes to even win her own state, let alone the presidency. I like RNC research. Giga cringe, loser pilled. But I mean, like, come on, Harris.
I see our college students up there. And let me just tell you, I love Gen Z. I don't know if some people, I love Gen Z. So, okay, for the older adults, this is going to be a humbling thing I'm about to share with you. If someone is 18 years old today, they were born in 2005. Oh yeah, check that out. Think about that for a minute.
It's just, I hate to say it, but she doesn't have the goods to win. She doesn't have what it takes. She doesn't have that charisma. She ain't got that charisma, unfortunately. Whitmer could do it. Whitmer could cook. Okay. Who's the governor of Arizona now? I forget her name. She could cook. She'd be able to go crazy. I think that's possible. Okay, there are many women out there who could go crazy. She actually has zero riz. She has less chemistry than Hillary. She has less charisma than Hillary. I do hate to say it, but she does well, I don't know. Pokemon go to the polls. Kamala ain't that bad. I don't know. I'll put her a step above. I'll put her a step above Hillary. I'll say that. Your stream as well. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Remember to Pokemon Go to the polls. Anyways.
We're white liberals. We'll tokenize anyone from underrepresented groups who are in favor of Biden while encouraging you to ignore and block anyone else who might speak out against him. We're white liberals.
Does she mean anybody like of color or just anybody period? I mean, yeah, like they were going to. I mean, yeah, like you also would probably, if you had your own candidate, you'd also be like, don't listen to those guys who say not to vote for you. They're wrong, because yeah.
We'll try to scare you into voting blue by reminding you about Project 2025 and the threat of fascism under Trump. Even though people from underrepresented groups have told us that, despite its name, Project 2025 has been in motion since the 70s and 80s, and they already experienced fascism under Biden.
How? What do you mean by fascism? How do you experience fascism under Biden? Okay, but like how? What does the word fascism mean to you? What's that definition? And who's doing fascism where in the country, just straight up? What? Okay, so here's the thing. Yes, Project 2025 has been in motion since the 60s and 70s. Project 2025 has been in motion ever since like Roe v. Wade was originally ruled on. Okay? We know that. That's 100% been the case. Okay, but like they've been actualizing it. Like can you imagine this? Like what is this? What does this even mean? Can you even imagine, like, just for a moment, somebody's like, hey dude, they're going to like what somebody's like, hey, they're going to explode a bomb in your house, all right? And then you go, who gives a shit, man? They've been building that bomb for the last week. I know. They're going to blow it up. Like the bomb is just about finished and they want to press the button. Bro, they've been building the bomb for a while. I looked in their garage and they've been working on that bomb for a while now. Like, okay, who cares? It just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, we know. We should probably stop them from being able to blow up the bomb, in my opinion. Yeah, they wrote it years in advance, and now they want to like actualize on it.
We're white liberals. We'll gaslight others and ourselves into believing that life is significantly better under Biden, despite the fact that we're all struggling to feed our families and pay our bills. We're white liberals and ourselves into believing that life is significantly better under Biden, despite the fact that we're all struggling to feed our families and pay our bills.
I would say that the country is indeed in better hands under Biden than Trump. Yes. That part is true. Now, is everybody doing like significantly better under Biden? No. I mean, I wouldn't say, like, I don't know. It depends on what you mean by significantly better. It depends on who you are. If you're one of the thousands of people across the country that had their like student loans forgiven, then yeah, I would say that you're doing significantly better in my personal opinion. Is like everybody doing better? No, but like a lot of people are doing, yes, indeed, significantly better. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I know some people who've had their student loans forgiven, something that, you know, the Republicans don't want to do, and yeah, their lives are indeed significantly better since they didn't have to. Maybe you specifically didn't get your student loans forgiven, or maybe you've already paid them off, or maybe you don't have them. But okay, but that sounds like a Republican idea of like, fuck you, I didn't get mine, had mine forgiven. Yeah, that's probably a really great thing for you. And even if you didn't get them forgiven, I know a lot of people who've like through like the student loan like payback thing that Biden did indeed put into place, that that those people don't have to, depending on your income, you don't have to pay back any student loans at all. My girlfriend is somebody who has like a couple, you know, I don't want to give off her whole like thing, but she has like a decent amount of student loans withstanding, and due to her income, she doesn't have to pay any money at all, like any money whatsoever, period. She has to pay no money at all in student loans, in her student loans right now. She owes $0.00 a month on her federal student loans because of what Biden put through, and that's actually great. It's fantastic, actually. She went from like worrying about how she's ever going to pay her bills whatsoever to it being at least somewhat like reasonable, like it being like in the ballpark of her being able to be at a place where she's going to be like debt free. Like we can see the path now because of Biden. Like that's actually a really great thing that's in office right now. Like you may not be one of the thousands of people who like were who had their convictions expunged after getting convicted and thrown in jail for like marijuana like trafficking or whatever, smoking weed. You may not have been one of those people, but those people probably like, yeah, that's great. That's a really cool thing that happened, actually. Yeah, and one of the big reasons why you can't pay your bills right now is because of like Trump's tax cuts for like the rich and the wealthy. Like a lot of the inflation is actually driven by big businesses, those big businesses that were able to get such a massive tax cut by the Biden administration and the Republicans. Sorry, by the Trump administration and the Republicans. What you just, I don't know. I hate the idea. I hate the people who are like, everybody who disagrees with wanting to vote for Biden is just too stupid to understand that like it'd be a great thing if you did, because they're not. Most people like have actual genuine grievances, but this is like, some of these are genuine grievances and some of these are just like low IQ babble. You're rabbling, you're rambling, you're yapping. Some of this is simply just yapping. Simply just yapping. Oh, or what about the tens of thousands and speaking.
That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about.
Thank you, Lumi. Hello, Raiders. I'm happy to have you. Thank you, Tesseract, with the tier 3 subscription. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We are in the middle of a segi. We're talking about like Biden and Trump and whatnot. All this type of stuff. Thank you so much. Once again, can we get your favorite emote out for Tesseract with the crazy tier 3 sub? Crazy. They did not need to do that, but they did. Shout out to Lumi. Can I get an exclamation SO for Lumi in the Twitch chat, please? I appreciate you. Thank you, Rez. Huge love. Yeah, companies have been artificially inflating prices, and companies have also been like lying to local governments and ordinances to give them more money because they say that they're losing profits by shoplifting when they just lied. They're just lying about shop. I want to do a video on this sometime soon, like the massive shoplifting lie that that like companies have been able to trick local people and local governments into believing like they're like completely losing profits because of everything's crashing around them because of the like shoplifting epidemic that isn't real. That's the shoplifting epidemic. That's the real plandemic. Okay, that's the real new world order. Okay, is for you to bow down to all corporations and say sorry for allowing shoplifting to happen when it's just not real and not a real problem. Thank you, Rez, for the gifted sub. I really appreciate you for that. Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you, Marjorie. Thank you, Marjorie. Yeehaw is a really good emote. That's true. I can't put that in Twitch. I'm not sure if I can even put yeehaw on YouTube, honestly. But we get yeehaw here on the site chat. Yeehaw's crazy. Yeehaw goes so hard. Yeah, I go so. Oh, but like, anyways, speaking of this, okay, like another thing that I don't know, that I don't even think they know about this, or they may not even care either. But another massive thing that like the Biden administration put through recently was, I forget its name specifically, but what it is, it's a plan to it's a plan to stop hunger in 2024 summer. So over the summer when school is out, the plan is to actually have it so that kids can get food and families can have like meals taken care of by the government if they can't afford to eat 3 square meals a day, or they can't afford all of their groceries. Red states are like opting themselves out of that because they want their constituents to suffer and starve, and they believe that starving to death would be better than the federal government feeding people. Actually, but like in states that actually take that type of stuff up, I'm telling you right now that there are going to be thousands and thousands of kids across the country that will not starve, that could have starved because of this. And I think that's great. Would it help me out as a kid? Yeah, that's true. And unfortunately, a lot of conservative states are specifically like, I want our constituents to starve because at least they aren't being helped by the government. It's crazy. It's really sad, crazy stuff. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, there's a lot of great things that the Biden admin has genuinely done that makes them, that, you know, it's true. They've done a lot of bad things too, especially with this like Israel genocide thing. Very sad. The whole genocide thing that they like do not want to give up on. After Netanyahu plays him like a fiddle. It's crazy. I love starving children. Yeah, but conservatives have been running on starving children as like a policy platform for years now. Remember how in like South Dakota, they were thinking about finally getting like free school lunches to poor children, and then he said it's not the government's job to make sure children don't starve, and it's the parents' fault if their children starve to death, and I couldn't care less. Once again, these are the same people that claim to care about kids and to be the party of life. But anyways, crime's out of control. Another lie promoted by conservatives, like the lie that crime is completely out of control. Crime has been falling for years. You've had one of the largest drops in crime this. You know, the craziest thing is that, I mean, under the Biden administration, like violent crimes, especially like murder, have almost completely disappeared in many parts of the country. But like nobody cares. Nobody actually cares about crimes not being that common, because like the only people that care about crimes happening like that are people who are victims of crime and people who can use the idea of crime to like win elections. That's it. But anyways,
we're white liberals. We'll act as saviors to marginalized communities, but we'll also blame them if Biden loses and tell them they can deal with the consequences of that, usually in graphic detail.
That part is true. I have seen that. I've seen that, like, fuck you, I'll be okay, but your ass is dead. Ooh, they're gonna kill your ass, and you're gonna deserve it too. I've seen that.
White liberals. We'll feign concern for Palestinians, but we won't actually watch the raw footage of them being attacked and unalived en masse. We're white liberals.
Okay, but like, nobody should be forced to watch like hours of gore porn. I'm gonna be honest with you. I also haven't watched hours of Palestinian gore porn either. You know the crazy thing about that, in South Africa's condemnation and case against Israel, it didn't once show one dead body. You know why? Because you can easily tell people and describe what's happening without doing like shock and horror gore porn by showing them like children blown to pieces. You don't need to see that to be able to sympathize with these types of people. Not once did South Africa bring up a single dead body in its genocide case against Israel, because you don't need to. We're white liberals. We don't like to watch gore porn. Like, okay. You don't need to. Oh, you support Palestine? Watch these executions. Like, no, I don't think you need to. I really don't think you need to.
Liberals. We'll talk down to people of color and pretend like we know what's best for them, even though the wall's still being built and Cop City's still going up. We're white liberals. We'll watch.
Walls still being built. That is true. Biden has actually built more walls on the southern border than Trump has so far. That part is true. That part is actually true. But he is also stopping Texas from like straight up killing people at the border. He's actually in a massive court battle with Texas because Texas wants to drown people coming across the border. If they have they want to actually drown people coming across the border. Texas recently just drowned a woman and her children in the Suez Canal. They purposefully drowned a woman and children in the Suez Canal. And Greg Abbott wants to shoot people coming across the border. Just anyone, men, women, children, everyone coming across the border, period. But like, yeah, sorry. It says Suez Canal. I'm thinking about about Yemen. Rio Grande. Thank you. Because we talked about Yemen so much yesterday. Like Greg Abbott and crew have been just drowning people in the Rio Grande recently, and Biden and the border patrol and federal border patrol have been in a war with like Texas border patrol and state-run border patrol and Greg Abbott over that type of stuff. Literally serial killer shit. Yeah, like Greg Abbott and crew literally put like a saw trap on in the Rio Grande to drown people and children. It was buoys with saw blades on them, and they were specifically made to stop people from being able to get on them. And if you try to, it'll like slice you up and you'll drown to death or bleed to death inside of the Rio Grande. So that's their plan right now, and Biden is actually fighting against that. So once again, unless you simply want him to just kill Greg Abbott, and if you do, don't say it here because I don't want to have to get rid of your account here on Twitch. Okay, that's for you to worry about. I have a coworker that thinks that shit's okay. Republicans love killing people. It's their like number one favorite pastime is to watch human beings die. And they get specific joy if their policies specifically kill them. Just kill the poor. That is true. That is their number one thing. That's their solution to poverty. Kill them. Tell them to do better, and if they don't do better, kill them. Presidential immunity. Holy crap. You're right. Guys, I've got it. Here's how Joe Biden wins in 2024. Donald Trump goes to the Supreme Court. He wins his case when it comes to presidential immunity. Okay, it means that the president, when in office, cannot be prosecuted for any crimes that they committed in office. Biden sends SEAL Team 6 to kill every single Republican governor, including Donald Trump, installs his own governors and becomes the president. Crazy stuff. I don't condone this, and I don't believe it should be done. But if Donald Trump like gets his way when it comes to this type of when it comes to his argument on presidential immunity, he can actually do it. You've heard of Project 2025? Get ready for Executive Order 2025. Holy, sounds like a coup? Nah. Because Democratic officials should have been there to begin with. Republicans, it's not a coup because the real coup was Republicans being in office because they stole the election from Democrats. Every election where a Republican won is actually a stolen election from the Democrats because they should have won, and the Republicans actually removed all of the ballots for the Democratic guy and put in their own ballots to be able to win, and threw away Democratic ballots so they can win. And they also did ballot harvesting, which is also really terrible too. So that they installed a digitized version of the personality of Adolf Hitler into every single voter booth in red states to be able to have the AI throw away Democratic ballots and instead put in conservatives into every office, because Republicans suck so much ass that they wouldn't have won any single elected position in the entire country. So that's how we know that when a Republican wins, that there was cheating done. So it's not a coup, it's just correcting the mistakes of the evildoers. It's correcting the mistakes that was fueled by, I hate to say it, the Antichrist. The devil works in very mischievous ways. Every single conservative that gets into office sold their soul to the devil, and they use the power of the Antichrist and the eternal flames of hell to be able to burn Democratic ballots by just thinking hard about it. And that's how they're able to be in office. So it really sucks. We'd be so fucked if Republican voters are real. They're not, thankfully. And Biden will soon correct that, inshallah. Alhamdulillah. Biden will correct the mistakes of the Antichrist. The Rio Grande booby traps rotate so you get tangled in the barbed wire dragging you underwater. Yeah, so it's actually a saw trap. So the buoys, so it's like buoys, okay, and then like razor blades in the middle, and they rotate. So what happens is that you rotate and then you get caught inside of like the razor blades, and you get stuck underwater, drowning you. It's actually they've actually set up a killing trap for human beings in Texas. That's what they're doing. And thankfully the Biden administration told them to not do that. It's already killed several women and children, and men as well, which are also important because men's lives matter as well. We have an serious problem. Psychotic? I mean, this was Greg Abbott the other day. Where's the audio clip of Greg Abbott talking about how he wanted to shoot people on the border? Let me see if I can grab that for you. Oh, my bad. His name is spelled with 2 B's and 2 T's, right? Where's this audio clip?
How do we know reopening businesses?
Nah, that's not it. Search. Echoed audio. Here we go. Beautiful. Here we go. Oh, Jesus, so loud.
We are using every tool that can be used, from building a border wall to building these border barriers to passing this law that I signed that led to another lawsuit by the Biden administration, where I signed a law making it illegal for somebody to enter Texas from another country. And they're subject to arrest and subject to deportation. And so we are deploying every tool and strategy that we possibly can. The only thing that we're not doing is we're not shooting people who come across the border because, of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder.
The only thing we're not doing is shooting people because, of course, the Biden administration would charge us with murder. Bro, actually, you know that meme, if it wasn't... what was that? Well, let me see if I can find this. Get away from me. But like if it wasn't for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you. If it wasn't for the laws of this land, I would have slaughtered you where you stand. Bro wants to be a serial killer immediately.
Tone deaf Instagram posts made by our leaders and dismissed for them, even us. We're white liberals. We'll talk down to people of color and pretend like we know what's best for them, even though the wall's still being built and Cop City's still going up. We're white liberals. We'll watch tone deaf Instagram posts made by our leaders and dismiss the thousands of comments streaming in demanding a ceasefire and just say that they're Russian bots. We're white liberals. We will talk over people in marginalized communities instead of listening to them and trusting their lived experiences. We're white liberals. We'll be recognized as Person of the Year for giving the economy a boost with our concert sales, while staying silent in the face of a genocide and actively destroying the environment with our private planes. We're white liberals. We like to say that we'll hold our own to account, but then we'll just ignore and justify it when our own leader is complicit in war crimes. We're white liberals. We'll put BLM in our bios while simultaneously condemning another country's resistance group that was born out of an unlawful and violent occupation.
Okay, well, that's true. And yes, that's a liberal thing. It's a Republican line to think that like BLM was burning down cities for like George Floyd or whatever. Like the people were like Minneapolis looked like fucking Nagasaki and Hiroshima after BLM came through. It's the same it's actually the same line that we're going to talk about that people used against MLK. I can't stand the walking sound. Oh, you mean the snow crunch? The snow crunch. My GF hates the snow crunch too. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's just the crunch. You can't BLM and like the 2020 like BLM protests and like Hamas. They're not very analogous at all. They're not really analogous at all, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. And like what's going on with Palestinians right now and like even black people in the country isn't necessarily completely analogous either. Like, sure, I guess there's both like resistance movements, but Hamas is like, they're not like BLM. I don't talk about Hamas much. Right, Hamas is like born out of something like much. They're not even really comparable to like the Black Panthers, really. We're not even, for one, we're not an apartheid state, okay? And even if it was like similar, like Hamas is doing way more damage, deliberately so, like top down damage. Even the riots that happened during like BLM, and throughout even like civil rights movements across the country, even then they weren't like what's happening right now in between Gaza and Israel. Like they're at war, just straight up. And like I don't even believe most. I don't even believe like most of the polls that have come out that like your average and also Hamas is like a dictatorship of like Palestine, and they don't of like Gaza, and they don't even allow like elections for one. Like you don't have to defend Hamas to like want to protect Palestine. You just don't need to. There's no need to do it. Okay. Hamas is actually, like, at the end of the day, a dictatorship in Gaza. Gazans can't be like, hey Hamas, we want you guys this. They can't do that. They can't do that. We can understand where like many Hamas militants are coming from, especially young ones who've grown up under occupation, and like Israeli bombardment, and the people who are victims of like, you know, the like Nakbas and Nakbas and occupation and deportation and like in pain and suffering inflicted on them by the Israeli state. But like they're not the same. Yeah, in the civil rights movement, all the civil rights movement tended more towards de-escalation than anything else. I mean, you can't even like really compare them to even like John Brown, really. It's just different. You can understand the analogies between the two and similarities between the two, but like they're not. I wouldn't really use them in the same breath, really. I think uprising in Haiti would be like way closer to Hamas and today, but it'd be closer. But I also don't even think they're really that. There's like wild differences between them as well too. Yeah, it's way closer. You go ahead. You go like wait. I wouldn't have as many problems comparing it to like Haiti. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I really don't like that video. It's just not good. It's not good. I mean they highlighted some good things, but it's big crapshoot, honestly. Huge crapshoot. Okay. We're gonna wind down for here just like a moment, because I'm in like at 6 I'm gonna have to pick up the GF from work, but we're going to come back in about like 30 minutes after 6, like 25-30 minutes after 6, and then come back and do our MLK segment, and also talk about how I found Nazis in my backyard, which is quite spooky indeed. I'm gonna be honest with you. A little terrifying, I must say. In your actual factual backyard? Nah, like 50 miles from me. Still way too close. But the world is my backyard if you think about it, so. We're waiting to hear about the backyard guys since last stream. Yeah, the backyardigans. I meant to talk about it last stream, but unfortunately something came up and we had a little appointment to attend to. Did you shot them? No comment. No comment. Absolutely no comment. Oh no. What's going on in my neck of the woods? What's going on here in Kentucky? What the hell type bullshit is this? Kentucky GOP's new bill decriminalizes use of deadly force against unhoused people. You could just shoot a homeless person. I'm just ashamed that this bill even came to fruition, Lexington council member said. Republican lawmakers in Kentucky introduced a bill last Tuesday that would criminalize homeless encampments and expand the state's stand your ground law to allow property owners to confront unhoused people with a gun. The bill, dubbed Safer Kentucky Act, already has received more than 45 Republican co-sponsors, and the Kentucky State Fraternal Order of Police has committed to testify in support of the legislation when it has a committee hearing. This is why you don't trust police officers, okay? This is why you don't trust cops. Why you talk? You already shoot anybody you want. What are you talking about, bro? We remember what you did to Breonna Taylor. You literally just shoot whoever you want. Why did you want more people to get shot? This isn't enough for you? Dude, I'm just telling you, if you like listen to what like police organization, like if you listen to laws, police or sorry, my bad. If you just reactively are against laws, police organization support, you're going to have like a decent political philosophy with some problems, but more likely than not, you'll be like a pretty decent person. I think that's if you want to like just base like policy positions that you have as like reactive, sort of like non-thinking, you're against so you're for so I'm against, then like yeah, there you go, right there. There you go, right there. Boom. I'm just ashamed this bill even came to fruition, and I'm asking people to call their legislators to say no, like sitting council members said in District 1. The proposed legislation grants cities and authorities to designate specific areas for unhoused individuals if individuals are found outside of the, oh my gosh, they're making ghettos. They just want to make new ghettos. I love how the Republican plan to deal with homelessness is just by killing them. You ever think about like the conservative plan for people who are suffering in our country is to kill them? That's the only go-to, that's the only plan that they have. Let's kill them. It's all that they have to lean on when it comes to like trying to make the country better. It's just, if we just kill everybody who's a nuisance, then we won't have problems anymore. If you kill every starving child, then we won't have starving children anymore. If you just hear their tummy grumble and you just blow their brains out right there, listen, that's one less mouth to feed. You ever think about that? Have we tried killing poor people yet? I found outside these designated areas residing in a tent, hut, temporary shelter, or vehicle with the intention to sleep. They just want to shoot people in their cars, man. Or vehicle with an intention to sleep. Can you imagine if you just want to take a nap in your car? Real quick, you like park in a Starbucks and you just want to take a nap, and like the fucking like property, the like franchise owner comes up and just blows a hole in your head with their shotgun. They face misdemeanor charges leading to a fine of $5,000 and the potential imprisonment of like 90,000 of 90 days. Yes. Here's a way to deal with people, the epidemic of people sleeping outside. Give them homes? Nah, that's too much work. How about we just kill everybody instead? How about we make them even more poor? I got it. If we make poor people even more poor, then we solve poverty. We have to give them a type of poverty that's so poor they're not even dead. Oh, I got it. Here's the plan, okay? Here's the plan. If we find a poor person, we make them more poor, okay? I'm not done. And then what we do is we designate people who are under a certain level of poverty as not humans anymore. They're not people, they're animals. And so you can just kill them. And so not only do we get rid of the homelessness population, but we also get rid of poverty. I should be working at the Young America Foundation. Holy crap. They go crazy for this. Big brain. Just designate, because slavery technically isn't illegal, so just designate them as non-humans anymore once you have a sufficiently low once you have if you have like, you know, $5 or less in your main checking account, then you're just not, then the Republicans can just designate you as not a human anymore. And when that's the case, then we just get rid of poverty because you're no longer a human in poverty. So the poverty levels go down. Holy. You know for a fact they're thinking this up. They're thinking that up right now. They're like, shit, that goes crazy. I shouldn't be giving conservatives ideas. Congress could actually do this. Yeah. It's a sad state of affairs. It's very unfortunate, isn't it? This is why it's good that we have a Democratic governor. Even though he can't stop literally everything, he can stop a lot of things. He can stop a lot of things. Telling someone they can't sleep in their car in an encampment does not end homelessness. Certainly, taking money away from evidence-based successful housing programs does not end homelessness. I'm glad we have some sane people in this state. The bill also gives people the ability to justify the use of defensive force upon unhoused people in instances of criminal trespass, including unlawful camping on the owner's property. This would allow property owners to use deadly force against unhoused people on their property without facing criminal charges. Bro, you can just kill people who are sleeping in their car. They want you to just kill people sleeping in their car. All it does is kill people faster. That's the only, because they don't believe that like homeless people, for one, they believe homelessness is a choice, and two, they believe homeless people just don't deserve human rights. They just basically aren't humans. You know, I was gonna say they've moved from thinking that black people aren't human. I mean, they are conservatives after all. I don't think a lot of them have changed that view. But anyways, they've expanded it to now thinking that just like homeless people, poor people in themselves are just not worthy of moral consideration, and your crime of existing as poor is worthy of the death penalty. This is just an expansion of the death penalty to people who are poor. I live in Cali. We have a homeless militia. That'd go crazy. Yeah, defensive force against somebody who's asleep. That just sounds like murder. That's what we have that. It's called murder. Oh, they want to put through a 3-strike law too, targeting violent offenders. It also proposes heightened penalties for fentanyl distribution leading to an overdose, classifies fleeing from law enforcement as a Class C felony, authorizes the death penalty in cases of murder of a first responder. Why do conservatives just want to kill people? Is that really the only thing that they think about, is like how much they can kill people? These increased criminal charges will inevitably result in an additional incarcerations in the overcrowded prisons. A 2021 analysis from the Prison Policy Initiative that found Kentucky were in a country it would have the 7th highest incarceration rate. Chat, this is what we call dying of whiteness, okay? This is more dying of whiteness. Yo, I picked up Dying of Whiteness in such a great time. I picked up Dying of Whiteness at such a great time because this is so fucking true. Because the people who are like homeless, who are like homeless the most, dying of like drug overdoses the most, poor the most, dude, there are people in Kentucky, in like Eastern Kentucky, who look like they haven't recovered from the Great Depression, and a lot of their families haven't. And they want to throw these people in jail and just kill them and just shoot them in the street. Yeah, it's way easier to campaign on killing people and being tough on them than wanting to make their lives better. That's how conservatives run. Yeah, that's how conservatives work. It's too easy to fix problems. It's way easier to just kill people instead. It truly is the American way, isn't it? That's a country, all right. Yeah, homeless, obese, trans, pregnant. Conservatives want you dead. We want you dead today. And that's how they run. That's the policy they run on. All right. All right, what time is it? It's 5:52. All right, I gotta be there at 6. I gotta go pick up the GF. I'll be back, and then we're going to do our MLK segment and also, yeah, our Nazi segment as well. We got those two things. All right, in the pocket, and then after that, chat. After that, we get to play some Cult of the Lamb. After that, we get to play some Cult of the Lamb. Are you excited? No way? Yes way. Yes way, chat. I haven't really eaten today, so I have to get something to eat today as well. But it's gonna go crazy. Cult of the Segs? That's crazy. Don't say that. Sex update, let's go. Yeah, listen, you get to pay to fuck someone. If you subscribe, you can choose a chat member who's a cultist to fuck. I will let you breed with them. I may permit you to breed. Not the Sega cult. I will be there no matter what. Huh? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The plan is going according to plan. Breed. Also, I think my tablet's broken. I put on the charger, but it's not taking a charge really. I have no clue what's happening, and now it won't turn on either. My shit might be broken as heck, which makes me really sad. But because I just got this too. And I like to draw on this tablet. I don't know, we'll see. Anyway, I'll put on the charger while I'm gone. I'll see what happens. Rip battery? It might be a rip battery situation. It might indeed be a rip battery situation. Anyways, I'll be back. Love you all. Give me like 25-30 minutes and then we can continue on with the stream. See you in a bit.